God said, it's all planned for the end of November. When you hear those words, something deep in your spirit begins to move. Because when God speaks of timing, He speaks of destiny. When He says, it's all planned, He's not talking about coincidence. He's talking about divine orchestration moments already written in heaven, waiting for their appointed time to unfold on earth. And now that appointed time is near, the end of November will not be ordinary. It will not be like other months. For some, it will be the moment of divine reversal. For others, it will be the birthing of what they prayed for, cried for, and waited on through seasons of silence. You see, God works in silence before He works in power. Before His move becomes visible, His plan becomes settled. The heavens are already in agreement with what is about to happen. You may not see the signs yet, but they are forming quietly, powerfully, precisely. The same way a seed grows unseen beneath the soil. Your breakthrough is germinating in places you cannot touch, cannot see, and cannot control. God has already scheduled your release. You think you are waiting on Him, but He's been waiting on His moment, the one He designed long before you even began to pray about it. At the end of November, the plan of God will speak. It will speak loudly through results. Those who mocked you will watch in silence as the hand of God lift you to places no human expected. Because when God plans a thing, no enemy can cancel it, no delay can erase it, and no betrayal can block it. What's coming has been divinely authorized. Every struggle you've endured until now was not random. It was rehearsal for revelation. It was part of the design. Many of you have been walking through a season of contradiction. You believe one thing, but seen the opposite. You prayed for increase, but watched decrease. You've asked for direction, but felt confusion. You've looked for open doors, but faced closed ones again and again. But hear this clearly, the contradiction was proof of your calling. The opposition was confirmation of your future. God allows contradiction not to break your faith, but to test its authenticity. He wanted to see if you would still trust Him when the promise seemed delayed, when your strength was gone, when your prayers felt unanswered. Because those who pass the test of silence are the ones who inherit the sound of glory. The end of November is not about a date on a calendar. It's about divine timing converging with the human readiness. God has been preparing you secretly, stripping away what cannot survive in your next season. That's why relationship shifted. That's why doors closed. That's why some of your plans fell apart, not because you failed, but because God was protecting the plan. He could not allow you to reach your destination attached to the wrong people or weighed down by the wrong distractions. So He separated you, refined you, and taught you how to stand alone with Him. You thought you were losing, but you were being positioned. There is a mystery in how God works. He hides blessings behind pain, purpose behind pressure, and growth behind isolation. Those who have learned to trust Him in isolation are about to walk into manifestation. The end of November will be a season when hidden faith becomes visible favor. Everything that was underground in your life will begin to rise. And it will not rise slowly, it will rise suddenly, like light breaking through the dawn. You will feel it in your spirit before you see it with your eyes. Something inside you will begin to say, this is it. This is the shift I've been waiting for. Some of you have been carrying a promise for years, and you've wondered if you misheard God. But God says, I didn't forget. I was just waiting for the perfect alignment of time, place, and people. He's been preparing the hearts of others to receive you. He's been preparing systems to favor you. He's been preparing circumstances to bless you. And now heaven's calendar is pointing to November not as an ending, but as a beginning. Every delay in your life has been divine. Every setback has been sacred. God has been writing a story that requires patience to understand. You see, He does not rush the righteous. He refines them. He doesn't waste pain. He recycles it into purpose. And when the appointed time comes, all the pieces will fit together. You'll see that what you called the disappointment was actually direction. What you called rejection was a redirection. What you called waiting was preparation. God never wastes time. He uses it. So don't be discouraged by how long it's taken. God doesn't measure progress by speed. He measures it by depth. He's been deepening your roots so that when He lifts you, you'll be unshakable. He's been training your spirit to handle abundance. Because sudden blessing can destroy an unprepared heart. You've been praying for promotion, but God's been preparing your posture. You've been asking for overflow, but He's been shaping your capacity. Because when He releases His plan, He doesn't want you to collapse under the weight of it. At the end of November, many will witness what happens when God's timing meets human obedience. Those who refuse to give up will step into what others forfeited through impatience. Those who stayed faithful when it was painful will see favor when others see confusion. God's plan is not partial, it's complete. Every missing piece in your life will begin to make sense. The puzzle will come together. The confusion will clear. The delay will deliver clarity. And the very thing that made you cry will soon make you grateful. Listen carefully. The greatest battles happen right before divine fulfillment. That's why this moment has felt like chaos. The enemy always stirs the storm before the calm, because he knows the calm is dangerous. He knows peace is the proof that God has spoken. So he sends distraction, discouragement, and fear to shake your confidence. But don't lose your peace now. You are closer than you think. The pressure you're under is a sign that the plan is near. God said it's all planned. That means even the parts you don't understand are included. The betrayals, the delays, the failures, the closed doors, all were necessary to shape your faith. If any of those moments were removed, your preparation would be incomplete. God doesn't plan comfort. He plans transformation. He doesn't plan convenience. He plans growth. Every tear you've shed has watered the soil of your next season. Every heartbreak has purified your motives. Every disappointment has burned away pride. You are being refined for glory. At the end of November, something will shift in the atmosphere. Many will feel a divine urgency, a stirring to move, a sense of clarity they haven't had before. It won't come from effort. It will come from alignment. Suddenly, you will know what to do. Suddenly, you will see why things didn't work before. Suddenly, opportunities that were once locked will open without struggle. That's how God moves suddenly, yet strategically. When He says it's all planned, He means nothing is missing. He's not improvising. He's not adjusting. He's fulfilling. You are walking into a season already designed to favor you. The script was written before the battle began. And when the divine script is in motion. No human resistance can rewrite it. The only thing that can stop you now is doubt. That's why you must protect your faith fiercely in this season. Guard your thoughts. Guard your words. Speak only what aligns with the plan. The power of God's plan manifests through faith. Faith is not passive belief. It's active trust. It's walking in peace while you wait. It's declaring victory when nothing looks victorious. It's believing that God's silence is not absence, but strategy. Those who live in that kind of faith will see sudden acceleration at the end of November. Doors will open, hearts will soften, paths will appear where there were none. You will realize that what you thought was delay was divine choreography. God was setting the stage for your unveiling. Some of you have been hidden on purpose. God hid you not because you weren't ready, but because others weren't ready for you. He kept you in obscurity to preserve your purity. He didn't want your gift exposed too soon. But when His time comes, no man can hide you. You'll step into visibility without striving. The right eyes will find you. The right opportunities will recognize you. The right support will surround you. God's timing always brings alignment. This is why you must not rush. The greatest mistake you can make right now is to try to make things happen in your own strength. Don't force what God has already planned. Don't try to accelerate what He has already scheduled. Patience is not weakness, it's wisdom. It's trusting that God knows what you don't. He sees the full picture while you only see fragments. So wait with faith, not frustration. The end of November will justify your patience. You will look back and say, now I understand. Every no will make sense. Every delay will reveal its purpose. Every silent night will shine with revelation. Because when the plan unfolds, understanding follows. God never explained before. He performs, then He reveals. And when He reveals, your heart will overflow with gratitude. Some of you have been praying for financial breakthrough, and God says, it's all planned. You thought you lost opportunities, but He's creating better ones. You thought the door closed, but He's building a new one. He's aligning resources, people, and timing to bring abundance in a way that glorifies Him. Don't worry about how, just stay aligned with the plan. Favor will locate you. Provision will pursue you. What was once withheld will be released suddenly. Others have been praying for healing, for peace, for restoration. God says, it's already written. Healing is not coming, it's a schedule. Peace is not a dream, it's appointed. Restoration is not delayed, it's developing. You're not waiting for a miracle. The miracle is waiting for its moment. Trust that every day until the end of November is preparation for that unveiling. Your job now is to stay in alignment. Keep your spirit clean, your faith strong, your words positive. Don't curse the process that's bringing your promise. Speak only life. Expect only victory. Believe that the best days are ahead, not behind. Because when God plans a thing, the past cannot compete with the future. The end of November is more than a season. It's a divine intersection. Heaven is about to meet earth in your life. Everything you've been believing for, fasting, for crying for, will start aligning visibly. You won't need to chase it. You'll attract it. Because what's meant for you cannot miss you when it's God planned. And when that time comes, you won't need to explain yourself to anyone. The results will speak. The peace will show. The favor will prove that it was never about luck, it was about divine design. God said it's all planned, And when God plans, He performs. When He performs, He perfects. And when He perfects, He glorifies His name through your life. You have come too far to doubt now. Hold your faith. Guard your hope. Keep your heart aligned. Because before this month ends, you will know without question that every waiting season had purpose. And every tear was part of the plan. There are moments in time when heaven itself leans closer to the earth, when the divine plan begins to whisper to your spirit that something is about to change. This is one of those moments. God said it's all planned for the end of November. That means what you could not make happen in months, what seemed impossible in your human strength, what seemed closed and unreachable will unfold by the hand of God in His perfect timing. There is divine movement happening even now. The unseen realm is alive with preparation. Angels are at work, setting things in motion. You cannot see it, but you can feel it. That unease in your spirit, that sudden burst of hope, that unexpected peace after a season of chaos, it is the sign that the plan is active. For too long, you've questioned yourself, wondering if your prayers were lost, if your sacrifices were ignored, if your faith was in vain. But hear this clearly. Nothing you have done in obedience has gone unnoticed by God. Every seed of faith you planted, every tear of trust you cried, every act of quiet endurance you offered, all of it has been recorded in the divine timeline. The moment you prayed, heaven began to move, but God has been aligning the timing. Timing is everything with Him. He's not random, He's precise. He doesn't bless out of impulse. He blesses by design. So when He says it's all planned, He means the blueprint is finished, the stage is set, the divine order has been signed into reality. When God plans something, He doesn't ask permission. He doesn't consult your circumstances. He simply declares, and it becomes. You may be surrounded by impossibilities, but impossibility has no voice. When God has spoken, you may not know how, you may not know when, but the certainty is that God's word will never fail. What He has designed for you cannot be undone by fear, failure, or frustration. It will happen at the appointed time, and that appointed time is approaching. The end of November will not simply be a date. It will be a demonstration. It will be the evidence that faith is never wasted. God has been writing a chapter in your life that you didn't even know was necessary. The hardship you went through was not punishment. It was purification. The waiting was not delay. It was development. Every closed door trained your discernment. Every betrayal tested your dependence. Every unanswered prayer expanded your patience. God has been sculpting your spirit, shaping your attitude, molding your heart for what's coming next. Understand this, God cannot pour abundance into an unprepared vessel. He must refine you before He rewards you. He must strengthen your foundation before He raises your structure. That's why you have been under pressure. Pressure is the final stage before breakthrough. Pressure is what turned invisible promise into visible reality. It's what transforms the raw material of faith into the manifestation of glory. So do not despise the pressure. Embrace it. Because if you are feeling the weight, it means the plan is near completion. God said it's all planned, meaning He has already calculated every detail. The people you will meet, the opportunities that will open, the resources that will appear out of nowhere, all of it is written into His schedule for your life. Nothing will happen by accident. Even what seems like a coincidence will be divine choreography. You look back and realize that every encounter, every delay, every disappointment was a link in the chain of destiny. The perfection of God's plan is revealed only when you stop trying to control it. That's why God sometimes allows confusion to strip you of the illusion that you are in charge. He let plans collapse so you can see that His hand alone sustains your future. He let people walk away so you will know that your dependence must be on Him, not on human approval. When everything around you feels unstable, it's because God is shifting the ground beneath your feet to position you for higher territory. What looked like a fall was actually a step. What looked like a loss was actually a lift. You've been through enough. To know by now that God doesn't rush. He reveals, He unfolds, He manifests. You might think nothing is happening, but in God's timing, nothing is often the sign that everything is being set in order. When you see no evidence, trust that heaven is busy. When you feel silence, understand that planning is taking place. God is not ignoring you. He's arranging the details. The reason it hasn't happened yet is because the right moment hasn't met the right readiness. But when that intersection comes, when readiness meets timing, the outcome will be unstoppable. At the end of November, divine readiness will meet divine timing. Those who have prepared their hearts, who have refused to complain, who have continued to walk in integrity, despite delay, they will see what others only dreamed about. The plan of God is not just to bless you, it is to establish you. He wants your success to last, your peace to be permanent, your influence to be purposeful. That's why it's taken this long. Quick blessings fade fast, but blessings built on obedience endure forever. This is why you must not let weariness steal your faith. Many give up right before the appointed moment. They let discouragement silence their hope. They let comparison corrupt their confidence. But you must not do that now. You've come too far. You've fought too hard. You've endured too much. The seed of destiny within you is about to bloom. And only those who remain planted through the storm will see the flower of fulfillment. Don't uproot your faith because the soil feels dry. The rain is coming. The end of November will bring the water your seed has been waiting for. When God said it's all planned, He meant that even the waiting has purpose. You are not stuck. You are being scheduled. Your life is following a rhythm that heaven has composed. Every event has meaning. Every encounter has purpose. Even your mistakes are being used as a material for mercy. God is not limited by your flow. He transformed them into fuel for your future. What others meant for harm, He has turned into hidden help. The very people who tried to bury you will one day watch you rise. Because when the plan of God matures, those who underestimated you will have no choice but to acknowledge that His hand was upon you all along. This season requires your spiritual focus. The distractions will increase as the divine hour approaches. You may notice unusual attacks, sudden fatigue, or people trying to pull you into unnecessary battles. That's not coincidence, that's resistance. The closer you get to your divine moment, the louder the noise becomes. Don't answer it. Silence is your strategy. Prayer is your power. Stillness is your weapon. God does not need your panic. He needs your peace. The plan will unfold without your striving. Just stay still, stay faithful, and stay alert. Some of you will begin to notice divine hints, unusual coincidences, inner promptings, sudden opportunities. Don't dismiss them. God speaks through signs, but only the sensitive can perceive them. He will nudge you, lead you, and whisper direction that make no logical sense, but carry divine purpose. When that happens, obey quickly. Delay in obedience can delay manifestation. Every instruction in this season is connected to your promotion. Move when God says move. Rest when He says rest. Speak when He says speak. And watch how everything aligns effortlessly. You may feel tired, but strength is coming. You may feel overlooked, but favor is being prepared. You may feel behind, but in the divine timeline, you are right on schedule. God is not finished. He's about to reveal the reason for every closed chapter. You've been asking why, but soon you will say, now I see. You'll understand why certain people left, why certain doors shut, why certain prayers took longer to be answered. The plan will reveal its perfection through hindsight. When God reveals His plan, it always exceeds expectation. He never gives halfway blessing. He restores beyond measure. He multiplies what was lost. He turns mourning into momentum. He turns failure into foundation. And when He blesses, He does so in a way that leaves no doubt that it was Him alone. People will look at your life and know this was not luck. This was not chance. This was the evidence of divine order. So prepare your heart. November's end will not be the end of your waiting. It will be the end of your wandering. You will see movement. You will see clarity. You will see results. The plan will not remain hidden forever. God is too faithful to leave your destiny suspended in uncertainty. The time for manifestation is near. Hold on to your faith as if it were oxygen, because it is your lifeline to the promise. The key now is surrender. Let go of control. Stop trying to calculate what God has already concluded. Stop analyzing what He has already ordained. The more you surrender, the faster the plan unfolds. Surrender does not mean giving up. It means trusting completely. It means saying, God, I believe You even when I can't predict You. It means knowing that His way is higher, His timing is better, and His wisdom is beyond your understanding. Those who surrender will see speed. Those who resist will face delay. The more you align your heart, the smoother the path becomes. God doesn't want you to strive. He wants you to flow with His purpose. The plan has momentum, and your obedience fuels it. Every act of faith pushes it forward. Every word of gratitude attracts its manifestation. The end of November will not come quietly. It will come with evidence. Those who have believed will testify. Truly, God planned it all along. Every part of your story will testify that divine wisdom was at work. Nothing will be wasted. Even the pain will have purpose. Even the delay will be crowned with divine design. God's timing will prove that He never forgot, never failed, never abandoned you. You may have doubted Him, but He never doubted you. He knew what you were capable of enduring. He trusted you with the waiting because He knew you would not collapse under it. And now, because you have remained, because you have believed, because you have held on when others let go, your season of divine fulfillment is here. The plan is already in motion. Heaven is counting down to its appointed time. Keep your heart steady, your spirit calm, and your faith unshaken. The end of November will not be the end of your struggle. It will be the beginning of your reward. There is something sacred about waiting at the edge of fulfillment. It is a holy tension where faith meets reality, where your prayers begin to echo louder in the realm of manifestation. God said, it's all planned for the end of November. Those words are not random. They are divine confirmation that the shift you've been sensing, the stirring in your heart, the unusual peace that doesn't make sense amid the chaos, are all signs that the plan is entering its visible phase. The same God who created the seasons, who makes the tides obey their appointed time, is the same God who has scheduled your transformation. When He declares that it is planned, it means the hour has already been written in the invisible scrolls of destiny. You must understand, nothing in your life is accidental. Every delay has been divine, every setback intentional. God does not work in confusion. He works in clarity concealed by time. He will let you walk through uncertainty, not because He wants you lost, but because He wants you anchored. He allows the unknown so your faith can grow beyond understanding. What you cannot see, you must believe. And when belief matures, it produces the kind of faith that commands miracles. Many have been asking, when will it happen? When will my breakthrough come? But God's plan is not measured by your clock. It is measured by your readiness. He has been preparing your heart for a season of sudden exposure. That is why He isolated you. That is why you felt hidden. That is why your name was not mentioned when others were being celebrated. God hides what He values until the time is right. A diamond is never found on the surface. It is hidden deep until it's ready to be revealed. So if you've been in the dark, don't curse it. It's your preparation room. The end of November will reveal that what was concealed was not forgotten. God was protecting you from premature exposure. The spotlight that comes from man fades, but the unveiling that comes from God carries permanence. When He decides to reveal you, it will not just be recognition, it will be redemption. He will redeem your years, your tears, your labor, and your faith. Every sacrifice you made in silence will find its reward in His perfect timing. God's plan for you was not designed to impress people. It was designed to glorify Him. That is why you couldn't fit in with everyone else's story. You couldn't rush your journey because your process carries purpose. You weren't meant to copy, you were meant to carry divine originality. God's plan for you requires uniqueness, and uniqueness often feels like isolation. You may have felt alone, misunderstood, or even abandoned, but all the while, God was setting you apart for a reason bigger than your comfort. At the end of November, the separation will make sense. You will realize that those who left were necessary exit. You will understand that the silence was a sign of sacred construction. You will finally see why certain prayers weren't answered the way you imagined, because God was preparing something you didn't even have the words to ask for. He's not giving you what you expected. He's giving you what eternal. Many people live their life trying to plan what only God can orchestrate. They write strategies, chase opportunities, and rely on effort instead of alignment. But when the plan of God is in motion, you don't chase, you attract. You don't strive, you flow, because God's plan brings grace, and grace makes the impossible effortless. What was hard before will suddenly become easy. What seemed out of reach will begin to move toward you. You will stand still, and doors will open that no human could have unlocked. When God plans something, it comes with divine order. It's not chaotic. It's not confusing. It carries peace even in uncertainty. You will know it's God not because it happens fast, but because it happens right. And when it happens, you won't need to explain it. The results will be your evidence. The peace will be your confirmation. The favor will speak louder than words. But understand this, the revelation of the plan is not the end. It is the beginning of stewardship. What God gives you, He expects you to guard. The blessings of the end of November will require maturity. You must protect what God reveals. Do not boast. Do not rush to share. Do not expose what is meant to grow quietly. Some things are not meant to be announced. They are meant to be nurtured. What is born in privacy carries greater strength. God will trust those who know how to keep silent while the miracle develops. The enemy cannot destroy the plan, but he can distract you from it. That's why, as your moment approaches, distraction will increase. People will suddenly appear. Situations will arise to pull your focus. Emotions will try to cloud your clarity. But you must remain centered on God. Protect your peace as if it were a treasure, because peace is the signal of divine presence. When you lose your peace, you lose direction. And in this season, direction is everything. God's plan for you is bigger than your imagination. He is not just bringing you out of a struggle, He's bringing you into significance. He's not just restoring what you lost, He's multiplying it. What's coming is not compensation, it's elevation. But elevation always comes with testing. You must pass the test of humility, gratitude, and discernment. Pride destroys plans. Ingratitude delays them. And poor discernment exposes them to danger. So walk humbly, thank God deeply, and listen for His whisper before you make your moves. As the end of November draws near, some will experience divine acceleration. Things that took years will happen in days. Closed doors will open with no logical explanation. People who ignored you will begin to seek you. Opportunities you didn't apply for will call your name. This is the power of divine alignment. When the plan matures, you will not have to chase what belongs to you, will be drawn to your spirit. You will find yourself in the right place, at the right time, with the right people, because heaven has arranged the encounter. Do not underestimate the suddenness of God. He moves quietly for a long time, then manifests loudly in a single moment. One moment can change everything. One divine encounter can rewrite years of pain. One act of obedience can open doors for generations after you. That's why you must remain sensitive and expectant. Expectation is not fantasy, it's faith in motion. Expectation is the magnet for manifestation. When you believe that something divine is near, your spirit attracted. Many will not understand what's happening in your life when the plan unfolds. They will think it's luck, but you will know it's the outcome of divine order. You will know it's the result of hidden obedience, unseen prayer, and unshakable faith. And when that moment comes, do not forget who did it. Do not take credit. Return the glory where it belongs. Because the moment you acknowledge the source, the flow continues. Gratitude keeps the gates open. Arrogance closes them. At the end of November, you will stand as living proof that God fulfills what He promises. You will testify that faith is never in vain. You will realize that even in silence, God was speaking through your situation. He was teaching you endurance, molding your heart, and positioning your path. And when you see what He has prepared, you will know why it took so long. You will know that every unanswered question, every lonely night, every uncertain step, all led here to this divinely appointed hour. Keep your spirit pure. Keep your heart soft. Don't allow bitterness to block your blessing. Forgive those who wronged you. They were instruments in your preparation. Release the past. It cannot serve you in the new. Embrace what's coming with open hands, because what God is about to place in them will be heavier, holier, and higher than anything you've carried before. The plan is perfect. The timing is set. The release is near. God said it's all planned for the end of November, and when God speaks, time obeys, creation aligns, and destiny unfolds. The waiting is almost over. Prepare your heart. The plan is about to be revealed, and your life will never be the same again. There comes a moment in every believer's life when heaven begins to move in silence, when God begins to rearrange the unseen so that the visible world cannot help but respond. You may not see it, you may not feel it, but I tell you, with the fire of conviction in my spirit, God is about to flood your bank with favor, not trickle, not sprinkle, but flood. When God moves, He does not move with limitation. When His hand releases abundance, it is not with hesitation. It is with power, with purpose, and with unstoppable overflow. You have been walking through seasons of delay, wondering when things will shift. You have looked at your account and whispered, when will the drought end? But the drought is not a sign of your defeat. It was the preparation for divine release. When the land is dry, the rain becomes more valuable. When your resources have been stretched, your faith has been strengthened. And when your faith is strengthened, you become ready for what God is about to pour. God does not bless a soul unprepared. He allowed emptiness so that when He fills, it will be recognized as His glory and not your own doing. I want you to understand this truth. Favor is not random. Favor is strategic. God's favor is the language of destiny. It comes when you have been tested, when your motives have been purified, when your hands are clean, and when your heart is aligned with obedience. The world may think favor is luck, but those who walk with God know favor is a covenant between your faith and His promise. You have prayed, you have waited, you have endured, and now the spiritual climate is shifting. God has seen your faithfulness in the valley, and He is preparing to reward you in the sight of your enemies. Do not mistake delay for denial. Every delay has been a design. God was not ignoring you. He was enlarging your capacity. He was stretching your faith to hold greater blessing. Some of you have been living on just enough, but God is about to move you into more than enough. You are about to walk into rooms you didn't even know existed. You are about to receive calls you didn't make. You are about to see opportunities you didn't chase. Because when favor floods your life, effort becomes ease, and scarcity bows before abundance. You see, God has a divine pattern. Before every flood of blessing, there is a flood of faith. God always prepares your spirit before He fills your account. Because if your heart is not ready, the blessing will crush you instead of lift you. That is why God had to let you experience lack. That is why you had to be rejected, misunderstood, and overlooked. Because favor must find a humble heart. And now Your humility has qualified you. Your tears have spoken louder than your words. Your faith has built a case before the throne of God, and the verdict is abundance. When God decides to flood your bank with favor, it will not be because of human systems. It will not be because of economic trends or government structures. God does not need permission to bless you. His favor bypasses logic and defies limitation. He can make one connection, open 1,000 doors. He can take one idea and multiply it into generational wealth. He can turn one seed into a forest of provision. God is about to demonstrate that when He blesses, no man can divorce it. There are moments when God tests your generosity to measure your readiness for favor. You cannot expect a flood when your hands are closed. God fills what is open. He blesses what is released. Some of you have given in faith when it didn't make sense. You sowed when the ground looked barren. You believed when there was no evidence. God saw every sacrifice, every offering, every moment you chose trust over fear. Now the heavens are responding. The rain of favor is gathering over your name. The clouds are heavy with blessing, and soon the downpour will begin. Do not let your eyes deceive you, even if your situation still looks dry. No, this God often works underground before He moves above ground. The roots of your harvest are already spreading. The foundation of your wealth is already forming. The people who once doubted you will soon witness the hand of God rewriting your financial destiny. This is not about greed, it's about glory. God wants to prove through you that His favor has no limit. He wants to use your story as evidence that faith attracts divine provision. But understand this, favor flows to the faithful, not the fearful. If you allow fear to dominate your thoughts, you block the current of abundance. God does not pour into doubt. He pours into trust. When you speak words of worry, you repel the flood. When you speak words of faith, you attract it. Declare today, even before it happened, God is flooding my bank with favor. Say it until your spirit believes it. Speak it until your atmosphere shifts. Because words create access. When your declaration aligns with God's intention, the floodgates open. There is a sacred principle. God cannot bless what you curse. If you keep saying, I am broke, you are sealing your own drought. If you keep saying, I can't afford it, you are building a wall against your own favor. But if you say, God is my source, you open a river of provision. Wealth is not just money. It is a manifestation of divine trust. When God sees you as a faithful steward, He releases more. He blesses you not only to fill your life, but to overflow into others. You become a channel of generosity, not a reservoir of fear. When God floods your bank with favor, do not be surprised when people who ignored you suddenly notice you. They will wonder how it happened. They will try to explain it through logic, but they will fail to understand that what is divine cannot be explained through the natural. You will move from overlooked to overbooked, from forgotten to favored. Because when God decided it is your time, no power can hold you back. Your time has come. The spiritual clock has struck. Heaven is opening its treasury over your name. You may say, but I don't see any sign yet. That's because the greatest flood begins in silence. Before the rain falls, the clouds gather quietly. Before breakthrough comes, stillness reigns. God often moves in ways that the human eye cannot see. Do not interpret silence as absence. God is working behind the curtain, preparing resources, aligning connections, and orchestrating timing. And when it happens, it will be sudden. The same way the flood in ancient times came suddenly, so will your favor arrive unexpected, undeniable, unstoppable. You have been faithful in what is small. You have not complained when others prosper. You have blessed others even when you lacked. That spirit has moved God's heart. Now, He will reward you openly. There will be a divine reversal. The same hands that once reached out for help will soon become the hands that give help. The same voice that once prayed for provision will soon testify of abundance. You will become a living proof that when God says it's time to prosper, nothing can stand in the way. Do not allow the opinions of others to limit what God wants to do. People may tell you that favor is unrealistic, that abundance is prideful, but remember, it is not pride to receive what God provides. Poverty does not glorify God. Obedience does. Faith does. Integrity does. God delights in your prosperity when it reflects His goodness. When your wealth becomes a testimony, it draws others toward faith. You were never meant to struggle forever. You were meant to rise, to expand, to reign in wisdom and abundance. The secret is surrender. When you surrender your plans to God, He multiplies them beyond measure. Many try to force wealth by striving, but divine favor is not earned through stress. It is received through surrender. When you stop chasing money and start pursuing purpose, money begins to chase you. When your motive shifts from accumulation to assignment, heaven takes notice. God floods those who understand that favor is not for self-exaltation, but for service, for impact, for transformation. There are three dimensions of favor: divine, relational, and material. Divine favor opens heaven's approval over your life. Relational favor places you before people who carry answers to your prayers. Material favor releases the tangible manifestation of God's provision. When all three align, wealth flows effortlessly. That is the alignment God is bringing you into now. People will start showing up with solutions. Opportunities will knock without notice. Doors you never knew existed will swing open. The flood is forming. You must prepare. Preparation is proof of faith. If you truly believe the flood is coming, start building your ark. Organize your finances. Clean your environment. Detach from negative people. Position your mind to receive. When you prepare, you send a signal to heaven that you are ready for overflow. God cannot release favor into chaos. Order attracts abundance. Structure sustains blessing. Begin to act like someone who expects the increase, because expectation is the birthplace of manifestation. There is power in prophetic gratitude. Thank God in advance for what has not yet appeared. Gratitude draws favor faster than prayer alone. When you thank God before the blessing arrives, you declare your faith louder than your need. Gratitude says, I already know it's done. It tells heaven that you are ready. Begin to thank God for your coming overflow. Thank Him for the increase you cannot yet see. Every thank you is a seed that multiplies into more. Some of you have been facing unusual attacks lately, not because you are cursed, but because you are close. When the enemy senses that favor is near, he fights harder. He tries to distract you, discourage you, and make you doubt. Do not give in. Your warfare is a sign of your wealth. Your battle is evidence of your breakthrough. The darker the night, the nearer the dawn. Hold your peace, keep your faith, and watch how quickly God turned the pressure into promotion. You are not waiting for favor. Favor is waiting for you to believe. The moment your faith matches God's promise, the release happens. Stop saying someday. Say now, because God responds to now faith, not someday faith. Speak life into your finances. Walk as if the flood has already begun. Speak to your bank account, your business, your career. Command them to align with divine increase. Words are spiritual currency. Use them wisely. Do not envy others who seem ahead of you. Their season is theirs. Your flood has its own timing. God's calendar is not bound to man's clock. When it is your appointed time, everything will happen fast, too fast for explanation. The same people who pitied you will stand in awe of your elevation. God is setting the stage for a display of His favor so great that even your critics will have to say, surely this is the hand of God. Guard your atmosphere. Do not speak unbelief. Do not entertain conversations that drain your faith. Surround yourself with the people who expect miracles. Align your energy with those who speak increase, not decrease. Because your environment either waters your faith or dries it up. Protect the seed of expectation that God has planted in your heart. The flood is too close to be wasted on doubt. There is no shortage in heaven. God owns the supply chain of the universe. When He decides to favor you, resources rearrange themselves. Currency will find you. Opportunities will recognize you. Investors, helpers, and destiny connectors will locate you without your struggle. You will become magnetic to blessings because favor makes you visible in the invisible realm. Everything you lost will be compensated with increase. Every closed door will be replaced by double. Every delay will turn into acceleration. You will recover more than you ever imagined. God never restores to the same level. He multiplies. When He floods, He doesn't measure drop. He releases rivers. And those rivers will carry your name, your business, your dreams into territories you never reached before. Keep walking by faith, not by sight. Because sight sees limitation, but faith sees overflow. You are on the edge of a divine release that will redefine your life. God is not just blessing you financially. He is rewriting your legacy. He is making you an example of what happens when faith refuses to quit. Your testimony will not be whispered, it will be declared. And through your abundance, others will learn that trusting God never fails. Listen to me carefully. When God sets His eyes on a person to favor them, no force on earth can stop that wave from coming. There is a divine acceleration that begins to move in the Spirit. And everything you lost, everything that was delayed, begins to rush toward you. It is as if heaven suddenly remembers your name. And every prayer you whispered in secret begins to echo in the courts of eternity. You are entering a time where God will make your obedience expensive, where your faith will yield interest, where your waiting will produce weight in glory. You are not forgotten. You are being remembered in the very economy of heaven. There are moments when you think your giving, your faithfulness, your trust have gone unnoticed. But God keeps perfect records. Every seed you sowed in faith was registered. Every act of obedience was documented. Every tear that fell while you held on to hope was collected. God does not forget. God is meticulous with those who trust Him. And when the time of remembrance comes, favor does not come like a stream. It comes like a river that bursts its bank. You are standing at the brink of that river now. When God floods your bank with the favor, it will be to demonstrate His sovereignty. He wants you to know that it is not your job, not your degree, not your network, not your strategies. It is His doing. He will make the increase so unusual that you will have no one to credit but Him. The contracts will come from directions you never pursued. The opportunities will emerge from conversations you never had. You will wake up one day and things will have shifted so suddenly that you will say, only God could have done this. That is the nature of divine favor. It astonishes even those who receive it. But hear me, God's favor is not just about accumulation, it is about assignment. He blesses you to become a blessing. He increases you so that you can reflect His generosity on earth. When you understand that money is not the goal but the instrument, you qualify for abundance. That has no limit. God gives wealth to those who know how to manage it without worshiping it. The moment your wealth becomes a testimony instead of a trophy, heaven keeps pouring. The flood never ends for those who remain humble. Many people pray for favor, yet their hearts are not ready to handle it. They want the flood, but they are not willing to build a foundation. God will not pour abundance into an unprepared vessel. He will first mold your mindset, test your integrity, refine your patience, and stretch your faith. He will place you in seasons of lack, not to punish you, but to train you to handle plenty, because favor without wisdom becomes a burden. God's preparation is a proof of His intention to promote you. Do not despise the process. It is the prelude to overflow. Sometimes God delays your financial breakthrough to protect your destiny. You may think you are ready, but God sees further than you. He knows that premature promotion can destroy character. He knows that sudden wealth can corrupt unguarded hearts. So He waits until your priorities are purified. He waits until you no longer need a favor to prove your worth. And when He sees that your heart can handle the harvest, He releases it without restriction. God never withholds to harm. He withholds to heal, to teach, to strengthen. Favor begins in the mind before it appears in the bank. You cannot receive on the outside what you do not believe on the inside. The limitation is not with God, it is with your belief. If you see yourself as small, life will treat you small. If you keep thinking scarcity, you attract scarcity. God wants to expand your mentality before He expands your resources. Begin to think like a steward of abundance. See yourself as someone trusted by God to distribute wealth for divine purpose. That mindset attracts divine supply. The wealth that is coming is not just the currency, it is influence, access, and authority. God is not just giving you money, He's giving you a voice that cannot be ignored. He's positioning you in places where decisions are made. He's placing your name in conversations that open nations. This is not just financial favor, it is kingdom favor. God is raising you as a vessel through whom His provision will flow to many. That is why the flood will be vast, because it is not for you alone. It is for the lives that will be touched through you. Do not fear the magnitude of what God is about to release. Some of you have been trained in smallness for so long that you hesitate when greatness calls. But God does not consult your past to decide your future. He will place you in positions your resume cannot justify. And that is exactly how He displays His power. The flood of favor is not logical, it is supernatural. It does not follow earthly rules. It obeys divine law. And the divine law says, what God opens, no man can shut. You must also learn to discern when favor is approaching. Often, God gives you signs before the flood. He increases your sensitivity to opportunity. He stirs your spirit with bold ideas. He brings people into your life who challenge your comfort. These are not coincidences, they are signals of movement. When these things start happening, respond with faith, not fear. Step out. Take the inspired action. Speak the word, sow the seed, because obedience activates the flood. And remember, God's favor flows where peace resides. If your heart is anxious, it blocks the current. Worry is the enemy of wealth. When you trust God completely, you create an atmosphere where blessings flow without resistance. Let go of anxiety about bills, debts, and shortages. You are not your bank balance, you are God's vessel. Your provision is not limited to a paycheck. It is tied to His promise. Peace is the pipeline through which prosperity travels. Keep your heart still, and the flow will find you. There is also divine law of association. Favor flows through connection. When God wants to bless you, He sends people. When the enemy wants to hinder you, He also sends people. Be wise about who walks beside you in this season. Not everyone can handle your overflow. Some will envy your increase. Others will drain your energy. Stay surrounded by those who celebrate your growth and point you back to God. The wrong company can block favor. The right company multiplies it. You must also remember that the flood of favor is not a one-time event. It is a continuous system for those who remain aligned. God does not bless you once and then forget you. He sustains the flow for as long as you remain faithful. The moment you start to take credit or lose gratitude, the flow begins to slow. But when you remain humble and generous, heaven keeps sending more. God loves to trust those who treat wealth as worship. Every act of generosity keeps the river alive. If you want to see the full flood, you must be willing to step beyond the comfort. Favor is not found in familiarity. It requires courage to leave the old and embrace the new. God may ask you to walk away from certain habits, circles, or patterns that no longer serve your future. He may close one door so that the flood can enter through another. Do not resist divine redirection. What looks like loss is often God clearing the path for a larger inflow. When the favor of God overtakes you, it will correct everything that once limited you. Debts will dissolve, delays will vanish, doors that were sealed for years will swing open as if they were never shut. That is how powerful divine favor is. It rewrites your reality. You will look back and realize that all the struggle, all the confusion, all the waiting were part of a divine equation leading to overflow. God wastes nothing. Every hardship becomes the soil from which your harvest grows. God's flood of favor will not only fill your bank, it will fill your life with freedom. Financial favor is only one expression of divine abundance. There is also favor in relationship, in health, in peace of mind, in purpose. When God favors you, He touches every area of your existence. You will wake up feeling lighter, think clearer, love deeper, and give more freely. Because favor restores what lack once took from you. It heals the invisible wounds of struggle. Understand that favor is not fragile, it is fierce. It fights for you, it defends you, it makes your name echo in rooms you have never entered. When God's favor marks you, no slander can undo it, no jealousy can cancel it, and no system can suppress it. The same way a flood cannot be contained by human hand, divine favor cannot be contained by opposition. It breaks through barriers, it overflows boundaries, it rises higher than resistance. That is what God is about to release in your life. There will come a time when you will not need to explain how things change. The transformation will speak for itself. People will notice the peace on your face, the strength in your step. the confidence in your words. They will sense that something divine surrounds you. That is a favor, quiet but powerful, invisible but undeniable. God will cloak you in a presence that magnetizes opportunities. You will attract solutions simply because you carry His grace. Now hear me. As favor increases, so must the discipline. Blessing without the structure becomes chaos. God does not flood to destroy, He floods to expand. You must learn to manage the overflow wisely. Budget, plan, invest, and give strategically. Treat every resource as sacred, because it is when you respect what God releases, He releases more. Discipline is the gatekeeper of destiny. The more you honor His blessing, the more He trusts you with abundance. There is also the principle of secrecy. Some blessings are not to be broadcasted. When the flood begins, move in silence. Do not announce what God is doing before it is established. Not everyone who smiles with you celebrates you. Guard your dreams until they manifest. Speak less, pray more, act quietly, and let results make the noise. God blesses the humble, not the boastful. Protect your favor through discretion. And do not forget, favor requires movement. You cannot stand still and expect a flood to find you. Take steps in faith. Apply for that opportunity. Launch that idea. Write that plan. God blesses motion. When He sees you moving, He multiplies your momentum. Even if the path is uncertain, walk by faith. God cannot steer a parked vessel. He moves with those who move. The flood will meet you in the flow of obedience. When God decides to favor you, He does not ask for permission. He simply acts. He breaks through barriers and moves through systems as though they never existed. What seemed impossible yesterday will bow before you tomorrow because the hand of God has shifted in your direction. There are times when God hides His favor in what looks like failure. You may have thought certain losses were setbacks, but in truth, they were sacred alignments. He had to close those doors to free your path. You could not carry the wrong people or the wrong mindset into the season of overflow that is now approaching. God will never release the flood of His favor into a heart still chained to the past. That is why some doors stayed shut. Why some people walked away. Why some opportunities fell apart. It was not rejection. It was redirection. Every time you thought you were being delayed, you are actually being refined. God was removing every weakness that could not survive the weight of abundance. The flood of favor that is coming is not for those who cling to fear. It is for those who have learned to trust even when nothing makes sense. God has been building your resilience in secret, stretching your faith to the point where you no longer need to understand. You simply believe. You have prayed long enough. Now you are about to live what you prayed for. God is moving resources from unexpected direction toward you. And when they arrive, you will realize that not a single season of pain was wasted. There is a divine order in how God releases favor. First, He tests your heart. Then, He observes your stewardship. And finally, He measures your gratitude. If you can remain grateful in lack, you are qualified for overflow. Gratitude in scarcity proves trust. It is easy to thank God when the account is full, but the real test is whether you can still lift your hands when the balance is low. Those who can thank God in the drought will surely dance in the flood. Favor does not follow complaints, it follows praise. Every time you choose gratitude over grumbling, you open another channel of blessing. Gratitude is a key that unlocks divine doors. You must also understand that divine favor is strategic. God never floods you randomly. He floods you with a purpose. The wealth He releases is always tied to destiny. He gives to those who will use His blessing to serve His will on earth. That is why He chooses givers, not hoarders, visionaries, not victims. The moment your ambition becomes a channel for divine intention, the resources start flowing. The flood is not simply money, it is divine empowerment to accomplish what God planned for you before you were born. That is why the blessing will not break you. It will build you. It will not corrupt you. It will complete you. Do not let anyone convince you that you are not worthy of wealth. God delights in seeing His people rise, shine, and multiply goodness. Poverty was never holy. It was never His design. What honors God is not your suffering, but your faithfulness, not your emptiness, but your ability to use abundance for purpose. When you prosper in truth, you demonstrate that trust in God produces fruit. You become living evidence that divine favor can turn an ordinary person into a symbol of extraordinary possibility. The world is not moved by words. It is moved by results. God will give you results so undeniable that people will see His power reflected through you. When favor floods, do not fight it with fear. Some people are afraid to receive because they have been conditioned to think small. But God is too vast to fit into your comfort zone. His favor is designed to stretch you, to push you beyond what you thought possible. When the opportunities come, say yes. When the doors open, step through them. When the idea arrives, act on it. Do not shrink back in doubt. If God sent it, He has already equipped you to handle it. The flood is not meant to drown you, it is meant to lift you. In this season, God will also teach you to discern the rhythm of favor. Sometimes the flood begins as a whisper, a quiet impression, a small shift in the atmosphere. Pay attention to the subtle signs. God rarely shouts, He nudges. The unexpected call, the divine meeting, the sudden clarity, all of these are signals that the tide is turning. When you sense that movement, cooperate with it. Do not delay. Move when He moves. Speak when He instructs. Give when He prompts. Those who flow with God's timing never miss His blessing. The wealth that is coming is not just financial, it is emotional, relational, and spiritual. God will enrich every area of your life because true prosperity is wholeness. You will no longer wake up with the heaviness of yesterday. Peace will become your companion. Joy will become your natural state. Your relationships will shift to reflect your new season. The people connected to you will rise because of your overflow. God never blesses one to oppress many. He blesses one to elevate many. Your favor is designed to lift families, heal communities, and transform generations. That is why the flood must come. And know this: God's favor has no competition. You do not need to fight others for it. What is yours cannot be taken. And what is taken was never truly yours. In the realm of divine favor, there is no shortage. You can celebrate others without losing your portion. God's supply is infinite. His rivers never run dry. When you stop competing and start cooperating with the flow, you accelerate your manifestation. Envy delays, gratitude multiplies. Keep your focus on your own divine timeline, and the flood will find you right where you are. There will come a moment when what you carry internally will attract everything externally. The favor you feel in your spirit will begin to materialize around you. Contracts will appear. Opportunities will locate you. People will begin to say your name in rooms you have never entered. That is not coincidence, it is divine orchestration. God is amplifying your influence so that His purpose can be revealed through your success. Do not be surprised when sudden recognition appears. It is simply the outward reflection of inward alignment. The flood of favor will bring speed. What once moved slowly will suddenly move swiftly. Delayed payments will be released. Long-awaited approvals will come through. Hidden opportunities will surface. People who once ignored you will now seek your counsel. This acceleration will not be natural. It will be supernatural. God is compressing time on your behalf. Years of effort will yield in months what you once thought impossible. The same ground that refused to produce will now overflow with the fruit. This is what happens when the heavens open. As you rise, keep your heart soft. Never allow wealth to harden your spirit. Remember, favor flows best through humility. The more you give credit to God, the more He enlarges your capacity. Pride stops what humility multiplies. Stay teachable, stay prayerful, stay grounded. Every time you think you've arrived, remind yourself that the journey with God never ends. He's not done with you. He's expanding you. The flood is only the beginning of a much greater story. And finally, realize this. You are not chasing favor. Favor is chasing you. You are not pleading for blessing. Blessing has been assigned to you. God has already scheduled moments of provision and expansion in your timeline. All you need to do is stay aligned, stay grateful, stay obedient. The season of struggle was never meant to define you. It was meant to prepare you for this divine flood. You are stepping into a future drenched in favor, a life overflowing with a divine abundance, a destiny that will make others know when God decides to bless a person, no power can resist the flood. Listen carefully. There are moments in life when God decides to reveal His glory through your story, and wealth becomes the stage upon which His power is displayed. Some people think wealth is about luxury, comfort, or pride. No, my friend. When God gives wealth, it is not trophy, it is a testimony. It is not for self-glorification, it is for divine demonstration. God will use wealth to announce your name to the nation, to draw attention not to your success, but to His sovereignty. When you walk faithfully, when you obey without compromise, when you keep your heart pure, even in the fire of lack, God begins preparing a table for you before the world. And when the time comes, that table will not be hidden in the dark. It will be set in front of those who once ignored you, those who once mocked you, those who once said you would never make it. God is about to use wealth to introduce you to the world. There are people right now going through silent seasons. You have prayed, you have waited, and nothing seemed to move. You wonder why the doors of prosperity are locked, why every opportunity seems delayed. Let me tell you, God has not forgotten you. The delay is divine. The silence is strategic. God hides His chosen ones before He reveals them, and He tests their hearts before He blesses their hands. If He gave you wealth before He matured your spirit, that wealth would destroy you. But when He knows your heart is stable, your motives are purified, and your humility is deep, He will lift you in such a way that no man can pull you down. Wealth in the hands of a godly person is a weapon. It is not the end, it is the means. It is not the purpose, it is the platform. When God gives you wealth, He gives you influence. When He gives you influence, He gives you access. And when He gives you access, He gives you the opportunity to shape lives, to transform nations, to advance His divine plan upon the earth. God will use wealth not merely to satisfy your desires, but to magnify His glory through your destiny. The world will see your success and wonder how it happened. They will ask, "What did you do?" And you will say, "It was God who lifted me. It was God who opened the door. It was God who made a way." Many people misunderstand wealth. They think it is evil to desire it, but it is not. What makes wealth dangerous is when you pursue it without God. But when wealth is the result of divine direction, when it comes as a reward for obedience, it carries no sorrow with it. It becomes a vessel of peace, not a burden of pride. God wants His children to prosper, not for vanity, but for visibility. How can the world believe in the power of God if His people walk in constant defeat? How can you speak of the abundance of heaven while living in scarcity on earth? No, my friend, God desires to make your life an example. He wants to raise you so high that people will know that it was not your skill, not your background, not your connections, but the hand of God that established you. When God uses wealth to introduce you to the world, it will not come gradually. It will come suddenly. You will move from obscurity to influence in a divine moment. That business that seemed insignificant will explode with blessings. That idea you almost gave up on will attract the attention of kings. That effort that everyone mocked will become the very thing that shifts your destiny. God is strategic. He's not random. Every hardship, every loss, every disappointment was preparing you to carry the weight of the blessing that is coming. The world honors results, but God honors faithfulness. You see, before He blesses your hands, He blesses your heart. Before He releases the wealth, He trains your character. Because if your spirit cannot handle the weight of wealth, it will break you. That is why some people receive money and lose their peace. But when God gives it, He gives it with wisdom, balance, and purpose. The wealth that comes from God never becomes an idol. It becomes an instrument. There is a difference between human wealth and divine wealth. Human wealth is noisy, proud, and temporary. Divine wealth is silent, stable, and eternal in impact. Human wealth builds ego. Divine wealth builds legacy. Human wealth fades when systems change, but divine wealth grows through every season because it is backed by the authority of heaven. When God gives wealth, it will multiply in your hands. Even when others fail, your storehouse will remain full because your source is not the economy, it is God. Do not despise the days of small beginnings. The seed you plant today will become the harvest that feeds nations tomorrow. God sees every hidden effort, every late night, every tear, every sacrifice. You may think no one is watching, but God is taking record. He will not forget your labor. One day, He will command wealth to locate you, not because you chased it, but because you are faithful in little. The wealth of the wicked will find its way into the hands of the righteous. And when it does, the world will see that God has the final say in who rises and who falls. The world is about to meet a new kind of wealthy person, the one whose wealth is not contaminated by pride, whose riches are not chained to greed, whose abundance does not make them arrogant. God is raising people who will carry wealth with humility, power with compassion, and authority with love. These are people who will not bow to money. Money will bow to them. Because when you are truly surrendered to God, wealth becomes your servant, not your master. When God uses wealth to introduce you to the world, your story will not make sense. People will ask how it happened so fast. They will try to trace your connections and find nothing. They will search your background and find no explanation. They will try to discredit you, but they will not succeed. Because no one can stop what God has ordained. You will become a living testimony of divine favor, a sign that God still lifts the humble and still crowns the faithful. Some of you have been hidden for too long. You have been faithful in private, consistent in prayer, generous even in lack. And God says, your time has come. He is about to bring you into visibility. He will use wealth as the language through which your purpose is announced. You will not need to introduce yourself. Your impact will introduce you. You will not need to beg for attention. Your fruit will speak for you. God is going to cause people in positions of power to notice you, to remember you, to favor you, not because of your resume, but because of His purpose. When God elevates you, do not be afraid of the attention. You are not rising for yourself. You are rising for His glory. You are a vessel of demonstration. The light of your success will not point to you. It will point to God. Every contract, every promotion, every open door is part of His strategy to magnify His greatness through your life. When people see your life, they should see the reflection of divine order, divine favor, and divine excellence. Wealth is not only about possession, it is about representation. You represent God when you handle wealth with discipline, wisdom, and compassion. Do not allow the fear of wealth to make you small. Some people think humility means poverty, but that is a lie. True humility is not in lack, it is in surrender. You can be wealthy and humble when you know that everything you have belongs to God. You can be powerful and peaceful when your heart is anchored in purpose. Wealth without purpose corrupts, but wealth under divine instruction transforms the world. When God gives you wealth, He gives you responsibility. He trusts you with influence so that through you, others can be blessed. You will feed the hungry, build the broken, empower the weak, and restore dignity to those who have been forgotten. This is why God wants you wealthy, not for vanity, but for impact. You are not called to survive. You are called to transform. You are not called to beg. You are called to build. You are not called to blend in. You are called to stand out. And the world will see. The world will hear. The world will know that there is a God who raises men from the dust and set them among princes. There is a God who can take a nobody and make them a symbol of prosperity. There is a God who blesses beyond calculation and increases beyond imagination. You may not have connections, but you have God. You may not have investors, but you have vision. You may not have recognition, but you have a destiny. And destiny, backed by divine favor, is more powerful than any earthly privilege. When the time comes, God will align people, events, and opportunities to showcase what He has placed within you. You will not have to chase doors. They will open on their own. You will not have to fight for your place. It will be prepared for you. When God decides to introduce you through wealth, the same people who once pitied you will come to learn from you. Those who laughed at your struggles will admire your results. Those who ignored your voice will now seek your counsel. It will not be by manipulation, it will be by manifestation. God Himself will validate you before the world. And He will not just bless you, He will establish you. There is a difference. A blessing can come and go, but establishment is permanent. God will not give you temporary increase. He will give you enduring prosperity. You will not just have money, you will have a meaning. You will not just have possessions, you will have peace. When wealth comes from God, it comes with wisdom to multiply it. You will not be a receiver, you will be a distributor. You will not hoard, you will release, you will not depend, you will dominate, because divine wealth is generational. It is designed to outlive you. It is not about what you own. It is about what you birth through obedience. When God chooses to use wealth to introduce you to the world, He is not just rewarding your labor, He is rewarding your faith. Many people work hard, yet they never rise. Many labor day and night, yet they never taste abundance. Why? Because wealth that is divine is not born from human effort alone. It is born from divine alignment. You can toil all your life and never see increase if God is not in your foundation. But when God becomes the architect of your destiny, every seed you plant is watered by His hand. Every plan you make is multiplied by His power. What others achieve through struggle, you will achieve through favor. What others fight for will begin to chase you. Because when God endorses your name, the world cannot ignore it. There is a level of blessing that cannot be explained by logic. It can only be recognized as the work of God. This is the level where your story shifts from effort to evidence, from labor to legacy. You will wake up one day and realize that everything you have been praying for has found you. It will not be because of your intelligence or connections. It will be because the time appointed by God has arrived. When that moment comes, no power on earth can delay it. The same hands that build the walls against you will be forced to open gates for you. The same mouths that cursed you will be compelled to speak well of you. Because when God wants to introduce you to the world, He does it through undeniable manifestation, through wealth that speaks louder than words. Do not think that wealth is evil. It is neutral. What determines its character is whose hands it rests in. In the hands of the selfish, wealth corrupts. In the hands of the righteous, wealth heals. God desires to raise a generation of wealth carriers whose hearts are anchored in purpose, not greed. He is looking for men and women who understand that money is not a master, but a messenger. Money is not to be worshipped. It is to be used. Used to lift the poor, to spread truth, to build the futures, to bring dignity where there was despair. When God uses wealth to introduce you, He does it so that others can see what it means to prosper without losing one's soul. You may not see it yet, but your struggle is a seed. Every night you spend wondering when it would be your turn. Every moment you gave your best and received nothing in return. None of it was wasted. God was watching, shaping, and preparing you. He was teaching you to handle lack so that when abundance comes, it will not control you. He was allowing you to taste emptiness so that you would never despise the power of contentment. God trains His chosen ones in the classroom of scarcity before trusting them with the throne of prosperity. You are not behind. You are in training. And when the training ends, promotion will come suddenly, publicly, undeniably. When God decides to use wealth as your introduction, it will silence every accusation. Those who said you were cursed will see you crowned. Those who doubted your worth will witness your wisdom. Those who abandoned you in your season of smallness will regret their blindness. God does not vindicate with words. He vindicates with the results. He will make your life so radiant that people will have no choice but to admit, surely this is the work of God. But hear this carefully. Wealth without purpose is like fire. without control. It burns what it was meant to warm. That is why God does not give wealth to everyone. He gives it to those who understand its purpose. The reason He delayed your prosperity is because He was perfecting your purpose. He wanted to ensure that when you rise, you will not forget the poor. That when you succeed, you will not become proud. That when you have abundance, you will still walk in humility. Wealth in the hands of a pure heart becomes a weapon against the suffering. It becomes an answer to the prayers of the needy. God blesses you so that through you, others can taste His kindness. Never apologize for wanting to prosper, because your prosperity is not selfish when it is God-driven. It is the manifestation of His covenant, the evidence of His favor. You cannot shine for God and remain in the shadows. You cannot represent the Almighty and live in perpetual limitation. There comes a time when God must honor your faithfulness with manifestation. He must clothe you with glory so that His greatness can be seen through you. The same God who gave wisdom to kings and wealth to prophets is the same God who wants to use you as a vessel of influence in this generation. The problem is not that people desire wealth. The problem is that they pursue it without divine direction. They run after success while ignoring the voice of the one who created. But true wealth begins where surrender begins. When you surrender your ambition to God, He purifies it. When you surrender your plans, He multiplies them. The more you yield, the more He releases. Because God cannot trust you with wealth if you still think it belongs to you. He will only pour abundance into hands that are open, not clenched in fear or greed. Let this truth sink deep into your heart. God does not give you wealth to make you famous. He gives you wealth to make Him known. When people see how far you've come, how much you've achieved, how deeply you've been blessed, they will see that it was not possible without divine favor. And that awareness will turn their hearts toward God. You become the living proof that obedience brings prosperity, that humility attracts honor, that patience is rewarded. You are not just being blessed, you are being displayed. You are a walking revelation of divine power at work. There will come a moment when your name will travel where your feet have never been. God will make people speak of you in rooms you have never entered. Your work, your vision, your purpose will draw attention from places you never dreamed of. This is how God introduces His chosen one, through influence backed by integrity, through prosperity guarded by purity. You do not need to manipulate. Your manifestation will be enough. When God elevates you, be careful to remember where you came from. Pride is the enemy of permanence. The moment you begin to think it was your doing, the blessing begins to leak. Wealth remains secure only in the hands of the humble. Gratitude is the shield that preserves prosperity. Every time you acknowledge that it was God who lifted you, He gives you more. But the moment you take credit, the flow slows down. Because divine wealth is never given for self-exaltation. It is given for divine glorification. Some of you listening to this right now are being prepared for extraordinary abundance. You may not look wealthy, but wealth is already chasing you. You may not have the resources yet, but heaven has already approved your increase. God is aligning situation, opening unseen doors, connecting you with the right people, and removing those who would waste your time. The reason some relationships ended suddenly was not rejection, it was protection. God could not allow wrong hearts to follow you into your next season. The next level requires separation. He will not share His glory with those who would corrupt your purpose. When your time comes, your story will sound impossible. People will say, we knew this person when they had nothing. How did they rise so high? They will not understand that when God decides to announce a person, He does it in ways that defy logic. He can make one deal change your entire life. He can make one encounter rewrite your destiny. He can cause one idea to generate generations of wealth. Do not limit God to your experience. His plans for you exceed your imagination. Wealth is not the destination. It is the vehicle. It is what God uses to transport His message of glory through your life, through your success. Others will believe that surrender works. Through your prosperity, others will understand that obedience is not in vain. Through your story, the world will see that no one remains small when their trust is in God. You must stop disqualifying yourself. Stop saying, people like me don't get rich. I come from nothing. Do you not realize that God delights in raising those who come from nothing? He specializes in turning nobodies into symbols of His greatness. He chooses those the world overlooks so that when He blesses them, no one can claim it was human influence. That is why you were overlooked. It was part of His plan. When your time of visibility comes, everyone will know that your rise was not by the help of men, but by the power of God. If you are still walking through the valley of preparation, do not faint. The waiting season is not punishment, it is positioning. Every delay has a divine reason. The longer God hides you, the greater your revelation will be. When you finally emerge, your wealth will not just be material, it will be spiritual, mental, and emotional. You will carry peace that money cannot buy, wisdom that experience cannot teach, and influence that cannot be earned through manipulation. There is a time when the favor of God becomes visible, when His hidden hand that has been working in silence begins to produce evidence in the open. That is the moment when wealth becomes the tool of revelation. God will use it not just to sustain you, but to announce you. He will take the very thing that the world chases with greed and transform it into the very thing that reveals His greatness through your life. When God blesses you, He does it in such a way that no one can doubt His involvement. The doors open without your knocking. The right people appear without your searching, and opportunities find you without your striving. This is how divine wealth works. It locates you. It recognizes obedience. It honors faith, and it flows toward those whose hearts are anchored in God. Many do not understand that before God releases wealth, He measures character. He looks into the heart, not the hunger. Some are hungry for wealth, but their motives are impure. They want the riches to display power, not to distribute purpose. But God is not moved by greed. He is moved by stewardship. He is not impressed by ambition. He is drawn to alignment. That is why you must not envy those who seem to prosper through deceit. Their success is short-lived because it was not born from the hand of God. But when God lifts the person, their rise is permanent. Their name becomes established. Their influence endures, and their prosperity becomes a testimony that cannot be erased. Do not misunderstand what is happening around you. The struggle you face now is not rejection, it is refinement. God is refining your motives, shaping your patience, and teaching you to remain faithful even when you have nothing to show. Because when wealth comes, it will come in such a way that you will not lose yourself within it. Many people are destroyed not by poverty but by prosperity because they receive before they are ready. But you are being prepared for wealth that will not endanger your soul. You are being built to handle abundance with the discipline, power with the humility, and success with the gratitude. When the time comes, you will not have to announce yourself. God Himself will be your announcer. The same way He raised prophets from dust, kings from shepherd fields, and rulers from obscurity, He will raise you. He will use wealth to reveal you. It will not be for personal display, but for divine distinction. You will not just have enough for yourself, you will have overflow. That overflow is the language of divine abundance. It says to the world, this person walks with God. The day will come when those who ignored your effort will marvel at your establishment. Those who dismissed your faith will envy your result. But you will not boast in yourself. You will boast in God. You will say, it was not my hand that did this. It was God who opened the door. God who gave the strength. God who blessed the work of my hands. Because wealth given by God humbles you. It does not inflate you. It reminds you that you are only a custodian, not the creator. There are people God is preparing to be signs of His generosity. He will use their success to remind the world that the righteousness still pays. He will use their businesses, their projects, their influence to prove that integrity and prosperity can walk together. The time is coming when God will shift the wealth of the wicked into the hands of the righteous, not to create pride, but to restore balance. The earth is the Lord's and all within it. He distributes wealth not according to greed, but according to purpose. When your purpose aligns with His plan, wealth becomes inevitable. You may be wondering, why does God need to use wealth to introduce me? Why can't He do it another way? Because the world listens to results. The world honors evidence. There are hearts that will never be open to the truth until they see what God can do with a life surrendered to Him. When they see how you prospered in purity, how you succeeded with integrity, how you grew without compromise, they will be drawn to seek the same God who empowered you. Your prosperity becomes a sermon without words. It becomes a revelation that obedience is not in vain. There are also spiritual dimensions to wealth that few understand. When God releases abundance, it is not just to change your lifestyle, it is to change your level of influence. Wealth gives you a voice. It positions you in places where decisions are made. It allows you to shape culture and direct the flow of good. Without influence, righteousness remains hidden. But with influence, righteousness can transform nations. This is why God is preparing people who will carry wealth with holiness, influence with humility, and authority with love. He is looking for those who will not be corrupted by success, but will sanctify it. Do not be afraid of success. Do not shrink from prosperity. Do not pretend that you do not desire to rise. Desire is not evil when it is submitted to God. It becomes holy when it is surrendered. Wealth in the hands of a pure heart is a weapon of light. It exposes darkness. It feeds the hungry. It builds dreams. It heals the broken. God wants to give you more, not for self-gratification, but for divine multiplication. The more you have, the more you can give. The more you control, the more you can influence. The more you rise, the more you can pull others up. When God releases wealth, He does not give it to lazy hands or fearful heart. He gives it to those who move in faith. Faith attracts favor. Faith unlocks supernatural provision. Faith makes the invisible visible. When you act in faith, when you invest, when you build, when you sow, God meets your action with multiplication. There are miracles of provision that only manifest through motion. If you wait for everything to be perfect before you move, you will never see divine supply. But when you take steps in faith, God adds His strength to your effort and His increase to your work. There are times when God hides your value until the right moment. He allows people to underestimate you so that when He finally reveals you, they will know it was Him. He lets you struggle in silence, not to break you, but to keep you from pride. Then, suddenly, when the appointed time arrives, He breathes on your work and everything multiplies. That is what divine timing looks like. It turns decades of preparation into days of transformation. The same business that struggled for years can become the most influential in a moment. The same voice that was ignored can suddenly become the most sought after. When God moves, He does not need time, He needs readiness. There will be a season when the very thing that caused you pain will become your platform. The area where you once lacked will become the area where you overflow. The same ground that once rejected your seed will yield a harvest so great that even you will be in awe. You will realize that God was not ignoring your prayers. He was multiplying your potential. He was storing your blessings until your foundation was strong enough to hold them. When wealth finally arrives, it will not come in small doses. It will come in waves because God rewards obedience with overflow. You must guard your heart in the season of blessing as fiercely as you guarded it in the season of lack. Prosperity can distract the unprepared, but when your heart remains centered on God, wealth will only amplify your worship. The higher you go, the deeper your gratitude must grow. Because gratitude keeps the flow alive. Every time you acknowledge the source, the stream continues. Every time you give thanks, the heavens open wider. Gratitude is not just a manners, it is a magnet for more. Understand this truth. God will not only make you wealthy, He will make you wise. Because wealth without wisdom leads to waste. The wisdom that comes from God teaches you how to preserve, how to invest, how to grow what you receive. It teaches you how to use money as a servant, not a ruler. You will not spend to impress. You will spend to impact. You will not build to boast. You will build to bless. God will give you the kind of wisdom that turns little into abundance, the kind that transforms ordinary ideas into empires. Do not measure your progress by others. Some people are running ahead, but they are running without roots. You, on the other hand, are being planted deeply. And when the tree of your destiny begins to grow, it will not wither. Your fruit will remain. Your influence will endure. You are not just building for a season, you are building for generations. God's purpose is not temporary. He blesses to establish a lineage, to shape history, to create legacy. And when the world sees you rise, they will see something different about you. Your wealth will carry peace. Your success will carry purity. Your abundance will carry compassion. Because when God is your foundation, everything you build stands tall and stands clean. You will become a light, silent but powerful, calm but commanding. People will be drawn to you, not just for what you have, but for the presence that surrounds you. That presence is not the weight of money. It is the fragrance of God's favor.